Said do not break for a little while. He's wrapping up with the Engineers.
Do not. Okay, don't go to a break for a little while?
Yeah, that's what he meant.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
Test
no
1,
problem.
2, 1, 2. All right.
No problemo. Just let me know when it's a go, and I could fill it up because we only have 4:46 before tip-off. So. All righty. Bass is right here beside me, so he's going to do a little color in it.
I'm just curious, should I even...
A pleasant good evening to everyone out there. We are coming live tonight from Wadley, Alabama, the campus of Southern Union Community College, where tonight the Bevill State Bears at 5 and 10 will be at the Southern Union Bison at 8 and 9 in a North Conference Division game for the ACCC. I'm Brian Hale, joined alongside by Sebastian Black. Brett Elmore is back in the studio. Bass, there was a big victory on Monday night for the Bears as they took care of business against one of the South opponents in Lurleen B. Wallace. They're looking to keep it on once again tonight, looking again like they have a full roster.
Yeah, it does look like they have a full roster, but, we talked about earlier in the season, Bevill needed something to turn around in this program, and to come out with a win against LB Wallace on Monday night at Bevill, they really needed that win and to advance to 5 and 10 on the year. Hopefully they can advance to 6 and 10 on the year so far tonight, but we've got to get through this game first and hope the Bears can pull out a victory here. But good to see. It looks like we are back to a full team here. It looks like nobody's missing. So hopefully our numbers will be on our side tonight with the team.
Last Monday night, of course, the Bears took care of Lurleen B. Wallace 71-58. Carterius Evans had 22 points and 7 rebounds, while Gervais took care of business with 16 points. Southern Union beat Wallace Selma 67-65 on Monday night. Marcus Held led them with 24 points. The starting lineup for the Bears, we will have C.J. Beckham starting in along with Gervais Peters, as well as Cornelius Grant, Cameron Scott, and Carterius Evans. Those will be your starting 5 for the Bears tonight. We're going to have a really stellar game from the Bears. as we saw against Lurleen Wallace, where they just really took control in that second half. It was very competitive. 33-31 was the score in the first half, and then they really took care of business. We're going to pause for the national anthem. Star Spangled Banner being sung here on the court as we are getting ready to get tipped off in between the Bisons and the Bears. Bass and I rode down here from Jasper, and Bass, we couldn't stop remarking on what a magnificent campus this one is on. Personally, for a few moments there, I thought we were on the campus of Sanford. I mean, it is absolutely, it's a humongous campus. It's in the middle of nowhere, but it's beautiful.
It definitely is beautiful, and it's weird. This campus is literally in the middle of nowhere. I have no idea where we're even at this point.
Well, I tell you, looking over the rosters, you look at some of the hometowns in this. Of course, we are close to Georgia, but they got guys from Illinois as well as from Alabama, but Florida, Louisiana, Texas. I can kind of see why, if you want to get away from the big cities, you have a beautiful campus here, and you can really get away.
You really can here as we're about ready for tip-off here, as Bevill is in the green jerseys tonight instead of the white as they normally are at home. Southern Union is in the yellow home jerseys as tip is set.
And that was Cornelius Grant working on the tip-off, but the Bison are going to control it here. Working it around the horn are the Bison, and Marcus Hill, he's going to be one of the ones we're going to have to look for. Number 0, and he's on the drive, puts up a shot. It's no good. Carterius Evans comes out with the rebound, and now it's C.J. Beckham. Working in now, Gervais back over to C.J., and now to C.J. Grant. Grant pulls up a shot. That's no good. The Bison are going to grab the rebound. They're heading down court. Hill had 24 points the other night against Wallace-Selma. And Bass, we know how good of a team that Wallace-Selma team is.
They are a very good team. The shot is put up, and it is good by
Jordan Mays for the Bison. Now that's going to be 2-0. Bison on top. Yep, they finally corrected the scoreboard. Gervais Peters has the ball for the Bears. He's going to lob it over to Beckham. Beckham turns around now. He's going to look for some help. Back over to Gervais. And back out now to Evans. Here comes Carterius. He's going to pull up a long distance two-pointer. It's no good, but coming up with the rebound is Beckham. Now over to Grant, and he's going to get called for traveling. So a turnover. Ball will go to the Bison. Two to nothing, just underway, a minute and a half already into the first quarter. And a little deflection from C.J. Beckham. as he was trying to get it away from the Bison. Does go out of bounds, and it's off of Beckham. So the Bison will retain control. And this is Hill for the Bison, is going to throw this in. He's going to dish it over to Taylor. Taylor's going to put up a long shot. It's no good. The rebound to the Bison, and there's going to be a foul. I think this is going to be on Gervais. Yep, this is going to be a foul on Gervais. It will be a shooting foul, so going to the line will be Destin Eek. And he is one of those guys from outside of town. He's from Irving, Texas. Ooh, and he's a big one, 6'8". Large frame body, good for rebounding. He's one of the guys that will cut in and drive up a lane. Shot is no good. Coming onto the court will be R.J. Stevens. He will sub out for Grant. Second shot by Eek. And that one's no good. The rebound will go to Carterius. Bison leading 2-0 in the game. And there is little shot for shot getting the ball away from the Bison in between Beckham and Gervais. Gervais now has control of the ball. He's going to lob it over to Cam Scott. Now back to Evans. Carterius on the drive, and there's going to be a foul. Foul on the Bison. And this will be a shooting foul for Carterius. Carterius last game out, 22 points and 7 rebounds against Lurleen B. Wallace. Carterius' first shot, and it does connect. Bears on the board with a point. Second shot by Evans, and that one connects. So we've evened the score at 2-2. Bison have the ball going down court. And this is Taylor. Taylor, and he dished it off to Mays, and Mays is going to get called for traveling. Bears will take over. R.J. Stevens is going to feed in the ball. Nope, he's going to give Gervais the honors. Gervais is going to pass it over to Beckham. Back over to Peters. Now back to Beckham. Now to Cam Scott. Cam pulls out a nice long distance two, but it's no good. The rebound is going to go to the Bison. Driving quickly down the court, this is Taylor. Now he's going to pass it over to Hill. Hill puts up the shot, and it's good. Marcus Hill manages to get the Bison to a 2-point lead. It's 4-2. 17-17 remaining before the half. Bears moving it around the horn. Up, and that's off the Bison. And driving all the way down was Hill. Hill did not make the shot, but he was fouled. And this foul, I believe, is going to go against R.J. Stevens. Second foul on the Bears. And lining up to shoot is Hill. Hill's first shot, and he does connect. Hill is a freshman from Chicago, the Windy City. And he connects once again, so it's now a 6-2 lead in favor of the Bison. And now Johnson, Maurice Johnson, has checked it in. He's going to lob it down to Evans. Evans underneath to Stevens. Now back to Evans, and Carterius connects. Now 4 points and 2 rebounds for Carterius. Cuts the lead to 2 points, 6-4, with Southern Union still on top. Here's Hill. And almost stolen by Scott. Nonetheless, picked up by the Bison. And the shot is no good. Coming out with a rebound is Cam Scott. Underneath to Evans. Evans had his ball deflected. Now back out to Johnson. A three-pointer by Maurice. Good shot. And that gives the Bears their first lead of the game, 7-6. The Bison now working. This is Mays, and he's going to kick it out to Wilkerson. And And now back to Hill. Put up a shot, and that's no good. Cam Scott coming out with another rebound, and the Bears are off and running. Here's Scott. Tried to drive it in there, and the shot was deflected away. The Bison have the ball. Alley pass and completed on the jam. That was Hill once again on the dunk. Southern Union takes a 1-point lead. It is 8-7 now as Gervais Peters has the ball. Now he gets it over to Johnson. Now back to Peters. Stevens. Now to Scott. Here comes Cam Scott on the drive, and he was fouled. They do say that that was in the art of shooting, so Cam will be shooting free throws here. Cam's first shot, no good. Some substitutions coming in for the Bison. They get the very tall Destin Eakes out of the ball game. That's probably good to see. Scott's second free throw shot, and that one is up and good. So we've tied the game at 8 apiece thanks to Cam Scott's free throws. Bison with control of the ball now, and this is Hill. And he's going to pass it over to LeBrian Bayon. There's two Bayons on the court. That was LeBrian, and there's been a turnover, so the Bears will have possession. Gervais is going to inbound it to Maurice Johnson. Now inside, Carterius puts up the shot, and that's good. So this is going to be an and one opportunity for Carterius, who's just recorded his 6th point. Bears now take a 10-8 lead, have a chance to continue, move this to 11. Carterius looking to address the shot. Shot's up. It's no good. A battle for the rebound, and out comes with the Bison. Wilkerson with that rebound. Now over to Taylor. On the drive, puts up a shot. It is no good, but on the foul, that's Jordan Mays. And looks like Gervais is going to get tagged with his 2nd foul. Jordan Mays to the line. First shot, and that connects. Mays' 2nd shot. That one connects, so we are tied at 10 apiece. Inbounding was Gervais. He's going to get over to Cam Scott. Now back to Gervais. Quickly moving down the court. And there's Johnson back over to Scott. Now Gervais on the drive, puts up the shot, and he does connect. Gervais Peters with his first shots of the game. Back to a 12-10 lead for the Bears. 14:28 remaining until the half. And we have another foul. This was on Johnson as he fouled Marcus Hill. This may have been a non-shooting foul. It was indeed, because nobody's shooting at the line. So inbounding will be the Bison. This is Levent's Bayon. And now he's got it over to Hill. Hill streaking in, puts in the shot. It is no good. Carterius Evans, 3rd rebound of the game, and the Bears are moving. Here's Gervais. Going to lob it back out to Carterius. Now over to Stevens and to Johnson. Now back Cam Scott. Gervais. Gervais on the drive. Another good shot by Gervais. Gives him 4 points on the game. Bears now have a 14-10 lead. 13:38 remaining. And we have a traveling call. That's going to be on Levintz Bayonne. Levintz and LeBrian Bayonne, both from Louisiana, will be seeing significant playing time tonight. Bears have inbounded. And here is Johnson. Skylar Heiss, the Oakman Wildcat, has checked into the game. A pass to him goes deflected, but it was last touched by Southern Union. So Heiss will be doing the inbounding honors. Back into Johnson. Johnson has his pocket picked. Straight down the court, lay-in. That was Marcus Reed for the Bison. Cut it to a 2-point lead. Bears still on top, 14-12. Here's Johnson. And looks like this was off the leg, or off the foot of the Bears. So Skylar will once again take care of inbounding duties. And he'll get it to Carterius. Back over to Johnson. Now to Skylar. Skylar chucks it out. Now back inside. He tried to get that to R.J. Stevens. It was last touched by the Bison. So the Bears will retain possession. It's a 2-point lead, 14-12, Bevill State on top. Now Skylar takes the inbound. He's giving it to Gervais. Gervais with the shot, and they're going to call a charging foul. Oh, excuse me, it was a block. And so we will be shooting fouls. The basket will count for Gervais. Gives him 6 points along with Carterius, but he has a chance to pick up the and one. Gervais sinks the shot. 7 points now for Gervais, and a 17-12 lead for Bevill State. The Bison moving quickly down the court on the drive, and we have a whistle. I believe this is going to be a foul. Carterius' first foul. A non-shooting foul, so the Bison will inbound. A lob over to Isaiah Eden. And now a pitch over to Marcus Reed. That is good. 3-point lead for Bevill State, 17-14. And the Bears on the move. Carterius splits up a shot. It is no good. Bison rebound. And quickly down the court, this is Eden. Long shot, no good. Coming out with the rebound, that's Skylar Heiss. He's going to throw it down to R.J. Stevens. Stevens, no good, but he grabs an offensive rebound. Attempt with the putback, and that one's no good. Now the rebound comes to the Bison. And good defense by Skylar Heiss. Eden was attempting to go up for the shot, and Heiss tipped it away from waist level. So good defense by Skylar. Retaining the ball will be the Bison, and they will inbound. Now here's Southern Union. And believe that we have a foul. Is this going to be on Cam Scott, I believe? Yep. This will be on Cam Scott. Non-shooting foul. 6 fouls now for the Bears. And working it outside, that was Charles Callahan. Now underneath, this was a jump ball, as tying up was Cam Scott, and he was tied it up with Eat. Inbound to Johnson. Here comes Maurice, moving it quickly down the court. Now over to Scott. Now to C.J. Beckham. Now to Carterius. Now to Scott. Three-pointer and a beautiful three-point shot by Cam Scott. 19-14, Bevill State on top. 11:04 remaining until halftime. Pull-up jumper, and that one is up and good. Just a two-pointer. Cuts it to 19-16. Bears still on top. C.J. Beckham with the ball. Underneath to Carterius. Carterius back out. Here's a shot from Maurice. It's no good. Underneath is Carterius. Carterius and Cam Scott with offensive rebounds, and Scott finally puts in the tapper. Gives the Bears a 21-16 lead, but quickly down the court was Destin Eek, and he sinks the shot, so 3 points separate the teams. Bears still on top, 21-18. Here comes C.J. Beckham with the ball and lobs it underneath. This is Cam Scott. And now back out to Maurice. Now to Carterius. Scott, long distance shot, and there's a foul, and I believe this is going to be a shot in three-point range. It is, in fact. So Cam Scott will be shooting 3 free throws. Scott with 6 points tonight. Looking for a prime opportunity here. And the first shot is no good. We are exactly halfway through the first period. Exactly 10 minutes remaining with these free throw shots. And no good for Cam on this second shot. Grant will be checking in for Carterius Evans. Cam, and whiffs on all of the opportunities, so 0 for 3 from the free throw line on that set. And a shot no good by Isaiah Eden. Coming out with the rebound, that was C.J. Beckham. Beckham with a three-pointer, launches it away, and it's up and good. So C.J. Beckham, a three-pointer with his first shots of the game. 24-18, Bevill State 6-point lead. And this is LeBrian Bayon. He's going to feed it over to Eden. Eden with a two-point shot. That's up and no good. And this is Eek, and there was a big fall underneath the basket as Eeks, and I believe that's Cam Scott, or is that Jordan Bell? Jordan Bell. Yeah. Boy, that was a hard thump pass.
That was.
Unfortunately, it also means that this is the Bears' 7th foul because Bell was called for the foul in that case. So Eek to the line. And those are two guys that are quite massive. Bell is 6'6", Eek is 6'8", and both of them look like they chew bark for breakfast. Eek's first shot was connected, 24-19. And the second one does connect. I don't think I would like to take a charge from Eek, Bass. I don't know about
I really
you.
don't think I would either.
He looks like the prototypical NFL tight end. Here comes C.J. Beckham. Nice put-up shot, and that's up and good. So 5 points for C.J. Beckham. It is 26-20. Bears still retain a 6-point lead. And here on the drive are the Bison. Underneath feed, and that one does connect for the Bison. Draws 26-22, and that shot was Charles Callahan. Now here comes C.J. Beckham, and he was fouled. That's going to be the 6th foul on the Bison. 8:35 remaining in the first half. Bears on top 26-22. Inbounding will be C.J. Beckham.
Evans is coming in for Jordan Bell here for the Bears. And Brian got a mean hopefully they can get it down to Evans for some points here.
It's needed. CJ lobs it inside to Evans. No good on the shot. Coming out with the rebound are the Bison. Quickly down the court. And here is Hill. Puts up the shot, and Hill connects. Draws the Bison within 2. The Bears still on top, 26-24 with 8:17 remaining in the first half. Here's Marcus Johnson. Now over to Cam Scott. Now feed to C.J. Beckham. Beautiful screen there by Grant. Now over to Johnson, a three-pointer. It is no good. Coming away with the ball, this is LeBron Bayon. Now Hill driving. Beautiful little shot block by Carterius Evans and collected by Maurice Johnson. Shot up, good. Cornelius Grant, his first points of the game. It's 28-24. Back to the other side, and that's Eek once again. Cuts the lead to 2, 28-26. Bevill State still on top. Maurice Johnson with the ball. Now feeds it over to Beckham. Now back over to Scott. And now to Beckham. Beckham stumbling a bit. Now recovers. Feeds the ball out to Carterius. Now I believe that there's going to be a foul. And this is going to be on the Bison, so Carterius is going to be going to the line for the 1-and-1. Gervais Peters is going to check in for Maurice. So here's Carterius. On the night, he's got 6 points. He's also got 4 rebounds. First shot by Carterius, and that's up and good. So he is tied with Gervais for the most points tonight. Checking out of the game will be Cam Scott. The former Jasper Viking, Trinity Epps, checks into the game. Carterius' second shot, and this one's going to be no good. Bison going to pick up the rebound. It's 29-26. Bears on top, a little under 7 minutes remaining in regulation. Eeks, and he is going to put it straight in and give the Bears a 1-point lead. It's 29-28 now. Bears still retain on top. Peters feeds it over to Epps, and now back over to Peters. And here's Gervais on the drive. Now it's going to kick it out to Beckham. Beckham, nice little floater, no good, but put back in for his 5th rebound of the night is Carterius Evans. Now 9 points for Carterius. It's 31-28. Bevill State on top. Hill is going to kick it out. Three-pointer, no good, but the rebound does connect for a 2-pointer for Southern Union. Back to a 1-point Bevill State lead, 31-30. Trinity Epps with the ball. Now back out to Gervais. And on the drive, Gervais puts up the shot, and it's up and good. Gervais also with 9 points. And back up to a 3-point lead, 33-30. Bevill State on top. Now on the drive, coming up, it's no good, but we have a called foul. They're going to call Gervais for another foul. This will be the 18th foul on the Bears. At the line, Jordan Mays for Southern Union. First shot is good. Jordan Bell and Maurice Johnson now coming into the game. Cornelius Grant also checked out. Second shot by Mays, and it's no good. Rebound going to Evans, his 6th of the game. There's Bell. Now to Johnson. And a steal attempt by the Bison. No good. The ball went out of bounds off of the Bison, and so C.J. Beckham will inbound. Beckham inbounds to Evans. Carterius back to Beckham. And now over to Johnson. Now to Beckham. Now back out to Evans. Underneath to Evans. Beautiful little move, and Carterius scores his 11th point of the game. Back to a 4-point lead, 35-31. Bears on top, just a little under 5 minutes. On the drive and sinking it for the Bison. And along with the foul, this was Marcus Hill. 35-33 as he'll look to convert the and one. 19 fouls now on the Bears. Hill's first shot, and it is no good. A rebound for the Bison, and they have scored the 2 points to tie the game at 35. There's Johnson getting it down to Carterius Evans. Carterius on the drive. He connects. So 13 points for Carterius. Makes this a 37-35 Bears lead. Southern Union with the ball once again. And this is Mays. And they're going to get Mays on a travel. So turnover going to the Bears. We've got a timeout. 30-second timeout. Of course, our broadcast tonight brought to you by the fine folks at Pinnacle Bank. Happy to have the folks sponsoring the Bevill State broadcast all this year. Bass, this is like last night. Last night didn't have a timeout in the first half.
Yeah, it was just
this is our first timeout.
I was just about to say, Bevill was brought some momentum from that Monday night game against L.B. Wallace over that win. They're playing pretty smart right now.
Mm-hmm. So inbounding will be the Bears. Beckham want to do the inbounding duties to Johnson. Now over to Epps. And Epps, he coughs up the ball. The Bison take possession. And this is Hill. Hill's no good. Jordan Bell comes out with the rebound. And here's Beckham. Now to Epps. Now to Evans. Evans with a long distance two-pointer. It is no good, but I believe that we've had a foul. And this is going to be on the Bison. Not going to be it'll be a 1-and-1 shooting foul. Going to the line will be Jordan Bell. No points in the game, but a rebound for Jordan. Bell's first shot, and he does connect. So Bell with his first points in the game makes this a 38-35 Bears lead, pending Bell's second shot. And he does connect on it. So the Bears back to a 4-point lead, 39-35, 3:33 remaining in the first half. And here comes the Bison. On the drive, pull-up shot. It is no good. A battle for the rebound, and that goes to C.J. Beckham and the Bears. C.J. quickly down the court on the drive, and shot was blocked and recovered by the Bison. So here's Southern Union, and looks like we had a offensive foul. Yep, offensive foul for the Bison. Charles Callahan tagged with that foul, so a turnover to the Bears. And Maurice Johnson gets the inbound from Jordan Bell. Here's Maurice. He's going to pass it over to C.J. Beckham. And back to Maurice. Underneath to Carterius Evans. There's a shot by Carterius. It's no good. A battle for the rebound does go to Southern Union. Quickly down court. This is Jarrett Taylor. Pull-up shot. It hits the front of the rim. And believe it, we're going to have another foul. And this is going to go against Carterius. Will be his second foul of the game. Subbing in is R.J. Stevens and Cornelius Grant. Discussion with the referees. They're trying to get things sorted out. Should we hum the theme to Jeopardy now, Bass?
I really think we should. They're a little confused here.
Well, maybe I should cue up, some Mozart or something like that. We've got it finally set as Marcus Hill for the Bisoners to the line. And his first shot, and that hits the front of the rim and bounces out. Now here comes C.J. Grant and R.J. Stevens. Hill's second shot. This one does not connect. Good rebound by Cam Scott. So Scott feeds the ball over to Maurice Johnson. Now back over to Scott, and now to Beckham. Beckham on the drive. Oh, that shot just went out of the rim. And last touch, they say, by the Bears, so the Bison will retain possession. Hill taking it down the court, now passes it over to Callahan. And coughed it up. Good steal there by Cam Scott. And Scott is fouled going to the basket. So Cam Scott will go to the line to shoot two. 6 points for Cam. First shot is up and good. By the way, both teams now with 10 fouls, so double bonus for both. Cam's second shot, and that one does connect as well. That's 8 points for Cam tonight. Gives the Bears a 41-35 lead with 1:54 remaining in this first half. Bison with the ball. This is Callahan. And on the drive, puts up a shot, and that's up and good. This is LeBrian Bayonne. Cuts the lead back to 4, 41-37. Bass, it seems like we've been in a 4-point lead at probably 80% of the night.
We really have. It's been back and forth on both sides of the ball here for both teams.
Underneath Grant. Grant makes the shot, and he's also going to have the and one opportunity. That's 4 points for C.J. Grant. Fouls are already at 10 apiece, so anything after this is probably not going to show up on the foul count. Grant's and one opportunity does connect. So 5 points now for Grant, and we have a full timeout. We'll be back after a 1-minute timeout. Welcome back, everybody, to Bevill State basketball, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. We're coming to you live from Wadley, Alabama, the beautiful campus of Southern Union Community College, where the Bears hold a 44-37 lead over the Bison. The Bison will be inbounding. 1:25 remaining in this opening half. And 6 points, I believe, Bass. You might be able to help me out. I think is the largest lead for the Bears tonight. Otherwise, they've set it right at about 4 most of the night. This is a 6-point lead that we have right now. And a shot, and that's up and no good, but the rebound comes from Hill, and is this a tie-up? Yep, it's a jump ball. R.J. Stevens tied up. Marcus Hill underneath the basket. Who's going to have the ball? Let's see. Hill's going to be doing the inbounding duty for the Bison. Correct myself, this is a 7-point lead, which is the largest on the game. And a long-distance shot. That is up and no good. Coming out with the rebound, this is R.J. Stevens. Scott with the ball. He's going to pass it over to Maurice, who's going to just play some back and forth. Now finally Grant's going to become another party in this. Now to Beckham. C.J. Beckham with the ball. Now passes it over to Scott. 26 seconds remain in regulation. A thrown-up ball is no good, and they're going to say a shot clock violation against the Bears. So 22 seconds remain in regulation, 22.6 seconds remain. And obviously the shot clock now off. Bison will inbound the ball, and the Bears lead 44-37. Why in the world? Okay, thank goodness. I was about to say, why in the world are they putting 2 minutes and 40 seconds back on the clock, but they actually put 24 back on the clock. So 24 seconds remain in regulation. The Bison now with the ball. This is Hill. Marcus Hill, who has been outstanding tonight for the Bison. He's going to push it out, and a three-pointer on the way, and that's going to be up and good for LeBron Bayonne. Going to give the Bears a 44-40 lead heading into halftime. Bass and I are going to take a 2-minute break, and then we're going to be back with halftime stats and some analysis. So 2 minutes. We'll be right back.
Everybody to WJLX's broadcast of Bevill State basketball presented by Pinnacle Bank, where we're at halftime here as the Bears lead the Southern Union State Community College Bison 44-40. And Brian, it's safe to say that Bevill State has really carried some momentum into this game after they defeated LB Wallace on Monday night there back home in Jasper. Taking a look at some of the key leaders, who's leading on the score so far?
Well, Carterius Evans has 13 points. He's also leading rebounds with 6 rebounds tonight. At 9 points, that's Gervais Peters. Cam Scott, he's also having a great night. He's got 8 points and 5 rebounds, and then we've got C.J. Beckham with 5 points. But you know, we've really harped upon this throughout this year. It's so different what the Bears are capable of when they have a full roster. When you've got 12, 13 guys out there, it's much different than when you have 7. It's because the 7, obviously, it's more of an endurance factor. It's continuity, and you're also always looking over your shoulders. Every foul, you say to yourself, oh, my goodness, am I going to put my team in more danger? So, obviously, it helps the team in so many different ways when you have this full roster, and we've seen it both nights.
You're right, and, I'm glad we got a full roster back tonight because we have seen over the past really – I guess you could really say month and a half, maybe 2 months to the max. COVID's really been an issue on this Bevill State Bears team, and we haven't seen a full roster probably since very first couple games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really glad we've got a full roster again tonight. But numbers have been by our side, as I talked about before we tipped off here. Talking about hopefully the numbers will be by our side. And so far it has been. You talked about the max point lead for Bevill tonight has been a 7-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they lead by 4 points here at the half. Hopefully we can see that number increase a little more. But both sides of the ball here has really been really good for both teams, offense and defense wise. So it's been a really good contest here.
Yeah, and we're at a 4-point lead. It just seems like, to me, the vast majority of this game, there's been a 4-point lead for Bevill. We would love to see it increase a lot more. As a matter of fact, I'd like to see it increase by 10, or it'll be 14. But at the same time, at the end of the night, as long as it says a W for Bevill,
Hey, you're right. How many times have we seen Bevill up by 4 points coming into halftime?
It's not been that. Even though the resounding victory that they had against Lurleen Wallace on Monday night, they were still down by 2 at halftime. So, it just goes to show what you can do.
Definitely.
Well, we are going to take a 3-minute break, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the Walker County basketball tournament that we'll start broadcasting tomorrow night. So stay tuned. This is halftime of Bevill State basketball, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. And that gives me
Welcome back, everybody, to WJLX's broadcast of Bevill State Bear basketball presented by Pinnacle Bank, as we are at halftime here as Bevill State, the Bears, lead Southern Union State Community College, the Bison, 44-40 here at halftime. As Brian, let's take a look around the area here as we've got a pretty busy next 3 days ahead of ourselves. The WJLX crew, as the Walker County High School basketball tournament invades Wildcat country. We travel to Oakman over the next 3 days to cover our area high school basketball teams.
One of my favorite events of the year, the Walker County basketball tournament. This already actually started up last night with 4th versus 5th seed teams, so let's update that action. In the girls bracket, the 4th and 5th seed teams was Carbon Hill defeating Oakman, and that was on the girls' side. On the boys' side, the Oakman Wildcats defeated the Dora Bulldogs 57-46. So tomorrow night's matchup with that advancement, on the girls' side, the Curry Yellow Jackets will face the Carbon Hill Bulldogs, and that one's going to be at 5:15. At 6:30, the Carbon Hill Bulldog boys will be facing the homestanding Oakman Wildcats. That one's at 6:30. So we will have those games tomorrow night. On Friday night, we will be having the Dora Bulldogs taking on the Cordova Blue Devils. That's on the girls' side at 5:15. And then at 6:30 on Friday night, it'll be the Curry Yellow Jackets facing the Cordova Blue Devils. Winners of both tomorrow night and Friday night, they're going to be advancing to the grand tournament finals, which is going to be on for the girls on Saturday at 1:30. The boys are at 3 p.m. Personally, I love the earlier games because number one, we get done early. All of us get done early, but it also gives folks a lot of chance to get home, do whatever they want to, and kind of relax.
Yeah, you're right. And it, we were talking about this earlier in the day. It definitely threw us off a little bit. A little earlier start times for these championship games. And, hey, I like it too. It gets home early,
That's absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're going to allow our sponsors to give you some of their fine messages. The wonderful folks that sponsor Bevill State basketball, they're going to deliver the messages here to you. So we're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back for the second half of action. Welcome back to second half action of Bevill State basketball here, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank, where the Bevill State Bears are up 44-40 on top of the Southern Union Bison. Inbounding will be Gervais Peters. And he gets it over to C.J. Beckham. And here's Gervais back over to Cam Scott. Carterius Evans feeds underneath. And this is Cornelius Grant, puts up the shot, and C.J. Grant connects on the first points of the second half. He's got 7. Bears are up by a 6-point lead, 46-40. This is Hill, and feeding it underneath over to Mays. Now back to Hill, and this is Eek. Ooh. And it sounded horrible, but don't know exactly what happened with that. I do know, in fact, that C.J. Beckham picked up the rebound. It looks like the Bears will retain possession of the ball. There was some type of warning. Bass, did you pick what that was
It
about?
was some type of blocking. I don't know what it was, but something about blocking is all I heard.
Well, it did not result in a foul, and the Bears still have possession of the ball. Now C.J. Beckham lobs up a three-pointer. It's up and no good. A good rebound there by Grant. Puts up the shot, no good. Eek tries to grab the rebound, and he does. Takes another spill. Now Taylor kicks over to Hill, and now outside to Mays. Mays puts up the shot. It is no good. Carterius comes out with the rebound, his 7th. Now gets it over to CJ. Now back to Carterius. Carterius on the drive, and believe that there was a foul. And they're going to tab Taylor for the Bison on this one. So Carterius is going to go to the line to shoot 2. Carterius ended the first half with 13 points. Coach Cheatham is having a little powwow with Gervais Peters, and C.J. Beckham is now going to send him back over there as there's having a little dust up on the court thanks to some sweat. So Carterius at the free throw line, his first shot, and he does connect.
Brian Carterius is looking to give Bevill their biggest lead of the night by 8 points here, as he is at 7, looking to be 8 right here as the shot is up, and it is good.
And that's going to give Carterius 15 points on the night, and as you mentioned, Bass, the largest lead of the game for the Bears, 48-40, as the Bison. This is Hill. Passing the ball around and moving it over to Mays, now to Taylor. And a good steal by Grant. Grant, transition, and he is fouled, going up for the shot. So C.J. Grant will be shooting fouls. Just underway here, just a little under 2 minutes gone in the second half. And Grant at the free throw line. First shot is up and good. Gives C.J. Grant 8 points for the night. Second shot. And that's also good. Free throw shooting's become a lot better for the Bears since the beginning of the season. Wouldn't you say, Sebastian?
I definitely would. Is the ball is bounce past and out of bounds.
So Bears will get possession. Carterius will inbound. Yeah, and I think it's all around. I mean, you've seen, of course, we know Gervais has been a good free throw shooter up in the top 10 all year long, but I'm talking guys across the board have just done extravagantly well. Cam Scott gets it over to Gervais. Now back over to Scott. Underneath to Carterius. He has his pass stolen from him by the Bison. Bears up by 10, largest lead of the game, 52-40. And a beautiful block by Cam Scott. Rebound on that, picked up by C.J. Beckham. And here comes C.J. He's going to kick it out. Gervais, three-point opportunity. It is no good. Battle for the rebound. Who's going to come up with it? It's going to be a jump ball. Jump ball. And the possession error goes to the Bison. So the Bears lead 52-40. There's the Bison. And Hill lobs it down court. And this is Callahan. Now back over to Reed. And now to Eden. And he does connect on the shot over the block attempt by Carterius Evans. Quickly down court, Gervais. And we got a blocking foul, and this is going to be on the Bison. Gervais is going to go to the line for two. And as we mentioned, Gervais, one of the more prolific free throw shooters in the conference and in the state. He's generally in the top 10. I believe that we had him the other night listed as 7th. But definitely the top of the Bears free throw shooters. And, of course, what does he do? He misses it.
You know, Brian, there was a couple months back we were talking about Gervais kind of fell off, and in the coming weeks. He didn't have some good games, but he's been performing really well over the last really couple months.
Well, and with that shot, he's actually in double digits. He's got 10 points tonight, and the Bears have a 9-point lead, 51-42. As the Bison are passing the ball around. And this is LeBron Bayon. And he puts up a nice floater. Connects on it. It's a 51-44 lead, 7 points for the Bears. As Maurice Johnson has the ball. Now he feeds it over to Carterius. Now outside to Gervais. Gervais puts up the shot. And once again, this time they're going to call a travel on the Bears. Well, now is the discussion with the referees. Time to hum the theme to Jeopardy once again as the discussion now continues. Negotiations? Let's see. Now they're going to call it a blocking foul on the Bison. So Gervais is going to go to the line. Instead of it being a charge against Bevill State, it's a blocking foul against the Bison. So Gervais is going to shoot two. And Gervais connects on that one. Gervais now got 11 points. And a very animated discussion right here in front of us, Sebastian, in between the Bison coach and the referee. Meanwhile, the shot's no good, and the Bison do rebound. And now they're on the drive, and a good block there by C.J. Grant. Now here comes Evans, and I believe that we had another block. Blocking foul. And it's against the Bison. So Bears lead 52-44, and we have a timeout. Waiting to see if this is going to be a full or a half. And we got a technical. Technical foul. Full timeout. We will be back in one moment with Bear basketball. And welcome back, where we've had a technical foul just before the momentary break Welcome back to Bears basketball, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. As Gervais Peters, he will be shooting the technical foul free throws. And Gervais' shot is up and good. Gervais now has 12 points. And here he goes once again. And he connects once again, 13 points for Gervais. We're back to a 10-point Bears lead. And to make Southern Union more miserable, now Carterius is going to shoot his free throws from the blocking foul.
Things are just not going in the way, the right way for the Bison here.
And compounding it, making it even worse for the Bison, is they have 6 team fouls already. The Bears have none. Carterius' first free throw is up and good, so that's 16 points tonight for Carterius. And he connects on the second one, so 17 points for Carterius. Now a 12-point lead for the Bears, 56-44, with 15:58 remaining in regulation. And this is Reed for the Bison. He's going to get it over to Levance Brown. And now we have a foul, the first one on the Bears. This one's going to be, I believe, this is going to be on Grant. Cornelius Grant. So going to the line will be Bayonne. And his first shot is going to be no good. And you're not seeing double. 12 and 13 are identical twins out there. Levance and LeBron Bayonne. And he does connect on the second shot. So it's a 56-45 lead for Bevill State. And Gervais, they've got the trap going, and they're going to call a travel on Gervais. The double team worked effectively for the Bison. Checking in Jordan Bell. He's going to relieve Cornelius Grant. So the Bison are going to inbound. Hill inbounds to Levance Bayonne. And now this is LeBron. And a three-pointer on the way. This one is no good, and they're going to call a foul, holding foul, and this is going to be on Carterius. I believe that's going to be Carterius' third of the game. And now, all of a sudden, the Bears have racked up 2 quick fouls. R.J. Stevens is going to come in for Carterius. Inbounding for the Bison, this is Reed. And a nice little deflection from Cam Scott to try to grab a hold of that ball. It goes off of Cam. Stays Bison ball. Inbounding will be done by Isaiah Eden. Eden on the inbound. And he gets it to Reed. Now it's back to Eden. And there's Callahan. Three-pointer is no good. Battle for the rebound, and that's going to come to Gervais. And they are going to call the foul on the Bison. And just like that, Bass, we're not even with 15 minutes left. The Bison are already at 7 fouls.
Yeah, not even a full 5 minutes into the game and 7 fouls already.
Yeah. So shooting 1-and-1 will be Gervais. And the Bison have brought Eek back in, that 6'8" mastodon. And Gervais' first shot is good. Like I said, this is a really good physical tall player any basketball team would want. And Gervais' second shot is good. So Gervais with 15 points now gives the Bears a 13-point lead, 58-45. Now we're at 15 minutes left in regulation. Bison moving the ball around. Now underneath to Eek. Now back out, and this is LeBryan shooting the ball, and it is no good for the Bison. Rebound by Jordan Bell. Gervais, three-pointer on the way, and that's no good. A battle for the rebound, and I believe that is Bell that comes up with the shot and the putback. So a good putback effort by Jordan Bell gives the Bears a 60-45 lead. Bison moving the ball around in the backcourt. This is Isaiah Eek, and looks like we have some war words going down, and this is going to be in between Eek and I believe they're going to say it was R.J. Stevens getting the foul, but it was Stevens and Eek after each other on the outside. A little war of the words in between the two. Didn't result in any technical fouls, thankfully. But it does result in a foul for R.J. Stevens. Now the Bison on the move. This is Hill, now to Eek. Now outside, now it looks like we've got another foul, and I believe this is going to be on Cam Scott. The fouls are quickly mounting up. It was just a few moments ago, it was 7 fouls to nothing, and now we have 7 fouls to 4. A little floater in the lane, that's no good. Eek comes up with the rebound, and I believe now we have another blocking foul, once again on Cam Scott. So the fouls are quickly catching up for the Bears. The Bison still with 7 fouls. This is going to be a blocking foul, and Eek's going to shoot. The Bears with 5 fouls. Eek, no good on the first shot, foul shot. Second foul shot. It is no good. Jordan Bell comes up with the rebound. Bell has a pair of 4s, 4 points and 4 rebounds, and now works it over to Johnson. Now Maurice on the drive, and they're going to call a charge. They're going to call a charge on Maurice Johnson as Eek drew the charge. Just like that, it is 6 fouls for the Bears.
It's crazy how things can change in just a matter of moments.
Yeah, it is. So inbounding are the Bison. It's amazing with all this flurry of activity, it's still 45-60. We haven't had any points in a while. It's just been a whole lot of extracurricular activity. Now here comes the Bison. This is LeBryan, Bayonne, and now Marcus Hill, and a good steal there by Gervais Peters. He's going to feed it underneath to R.J. Stevens, who records his first points of the game. And back to the inside, a little toe-for-toe as Eek gets 2 points on the other side of the basket. 62-47, Bears still on top by 15. And here is R.J. Stevens now passing it over to Gervais. And now back out to Maurice Johnson. 13 minutes remaining in regulation. Now back to Gervais, and now to Maurice. Over to Stevens, and now to Skylar Heist. The Oakland Wildcat puts up a 3-pointer, and that's no good. Eek comes down with the rebound for the Bison. Now LeBryan Bayonne with the ball, now passes it over to Marcus Hill. Three-pointer on the way. It is no good, but a rebound by Hill puts it underneath, and we got a timeout. Full timeout. We'll take a 1-minute break, and we'll be right back. Bear basketball brought to you by Pinnacle Bank as battle for the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Bison, so C.J. Beckham will be inbounding for the Bears. Bears up 62-49, 12-14 remaining in the second half here, as a nice little shot there goes up and goes good for Cornelius Grant, who now is in double figures himself, 11 points. It is a 64-49 lead for Bevill State. Bison with the ball, now on the drive. This is Hill, and Hill is fouled as he hits the ground hard. They're going to tab Jordan Bell for the foul. It's going to be a shooting foul. It's be 2 shots, but both fouls are now in the bonus. 7 fouls apiece. Hill's first shot. This is no good. Marcus Hill attempting his second shot for Southern Union. That one's up and good. So it takes us to a 64-50 lead. Bevill State still up big. Now Heiss back over to Johnson. Now to C.J. Beckham. Now to Johnson. Now to Heiss. Schuyler gives it to Beckham. C.J. And looks like we have a foul. This is going to be a foul on the Bison. So we're going to be shooting the 1-and-1 with C.J. Beckham doing the honors. I believe the Lady Bison basketball team is below us. There, Bass, providing a little inspiration.
Yeah, that's what I was starting to think here.
And CJ's shot attempt is no good on the 1-and-1. Bevill State still in command, 64-50. And there is Hill. He feeds it underneath to the big guy, Eek. Eek puts in the shot, and it's up and good. 64-52. The Bears still in command. And an alley-oop, beautifully done to Jordan Bell from Schuyler Heiss. And that was just immaculate. Alley-oop dunk by Jordan Bell. Bass, I hope everyone wants to come back in that and look at the highlights.
That was nice. That was beautiful right there.
Oh, and they're going to call a foul. I believe this is going to be on C.J. Beckham, as Marcus Hill was going up for the shot. And I believe that's the case. So shooting at the line will be Marcus Hill. Hill's first shot, and this does connect. Hill's second shot does not connect. Rebound by Jordan Bell, and that is a timeout. Timeout called by Marcus Johnson. And this will be a 1-minute timeout. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, where the Bevill State Bears are leading the Southern Union Bison 62-53. Bevill State basketball brought to you by Pinnacle Bank, where Marcus Johnson is on the inbound. C.J. Beckham, the recipient. Now back to Johnson. Now over to Gervais. The Bison are trying a little press action, and they're going to call Gervais for a traveling foul. Some substitutions being made. It's the two twins that are substituting with each other. That's LeVince and LeBayon. And here are the Bison. This is Marcus Hill. He's going to pass it underneath to Reed. And a scramble for the ball, and picking it up is Cornelius Grant. And to right rack again, the Bison pick it up. Now we've got a battle for steals now, and coming out with it are the Bison. Marcus Hill, the recipient of a foul. He sinks the basket. He's going to have a chance to convert the and one here. It is 66-55, and the Bison now with a chance to draw this to a 10-point Bears lead with the shot from Hill. Hill shot up, and he does connect. So a 10-point lead. The Bears still on top, 66-56. The press is on from the Bison. Breaking the timeline is Gervais Peters, and they're going to say that Gervais was fouled. Gervais fouled, and he's going to the line for the 1-and-1. Both teams now with 9 fouls apiece. Cam Scott is going to be checking in and relieving C.J. Grant. Nope, he's not going to be. He's going to be C.K. Beckham that is going to be relieved. C.J. Beckham taking a seat as the shot by Gervais is up and good. And that's going to be 16 points for Gervais Peters. Really good effort tonight by C.J. Beckham. I've been thrilled with his performance as Gervais connects on his 17th point. Bears are back up by 12, 68-56, 9:40 remaining. Three-pointer on the way. This is no good. A rebound by Bell. 6 rebounds tonight by Bell. Cam Scott feeds over to Bell. And Bell on the drive puts up the shot. It is no good. A tip back rebound attempt by Bell. That shot is no good. The Bison come out with the ball. Hill looking to drive in, and I believe that's going to be a blocking foul. Is this going to be on Bell, or is this going to be on Grant? Let's see who they're going to call it on. They're going to call this on Cornelius Grant. And now the Bears are in the double bonus for fouls. So shooting 2, this will be Marcus Hill. First shot for Hill is up and good. Carterius Evans is going to relieve Bell. Second shot for Hill, and this one is good. Johnson inbounding to Gervais. Now over to Evans. Now back to Gervais, and now to Johnson. Now underneath, there's Cam Scott. He's going to float a little, beautiful little sinker in, and that's going to be 10 points for Cam Scott. Bears are up now 70-58. 8:43 remaining. Here's Hill on the drive. It is no good. Battle for the rebound, and the Bison are going to come up, and they're going to say this is another blocking foul on the Bears. So back to the line will be Hill. Shot is up, and this is good. Actually, that is Eden. C.J. Beckham getting ready to check back into the ball game. Eden's second shot, and this one's good. Back to a 10-point lead, 70-60, as Beckham does check in. He's going to relieve Cam Scott. Now pass to Johnson, back to Gervais, now back to Johnson. Now he feeds it over to Gervais. Now Johnson, and they break the timeline. Carterius Evans with a knob pass, and they are just mugging Grant underneath the basket. I hope Cornelius is okay. C.J. Grant absolutely took a hard crash as they just kind of did a belly flop on top of him, Bass.
Yeah, it didn't look good to begin with, but it looks like he's up and all right there. Is cleaned up a little bit of sweat on the floor there, Brian.
Well, Bass, both teams are in the double bonus now, and what that's actually going to do is make it a much longer game now.
Unfortunately, it will for us.
But as long as the Bears come out on top, hey.
You're right.
Grant's first shot, and that's up and good. Grant with 12 points is going to have a chance to make it 13 here. This shot, up and good. Grant converts on both, gives him 13 points, and the Bears back to a 12-point lead, 72-60. As the Bison passing the ball around, this is Hill. Hill on the drive, and he is fouled. Let's see who's going to be the recipient of this foul. And this is going to be on Maurice Johnson. So Hill will be going to the line. Hill's first shot, no good. Bass, I'm sure you recall this, but I believe it was that the game against Tennessee Valley, I believe it was, Maurice got injured as Hill's second shot connects, makes it 72-61. He came back, and him and C.J. Beckham, and we've got a steal and another shot by Hill. And we've got a timeout. Let's see what the timeout is. It's going to be a full timeout. We'll be back in 1 moment. Welcome back, everybody. Bevill State basketball brought to you by Pinnacle Bank as the Bears, they have coughed up the ball. The Bison tried to get it to each other, and they've coughed it up as the ball just rolled straight out of bounds. So the Bears will actually retain possession as C.J. Beckham will do the inbounding. Yeah,
Pretty sure they're looks like they're down there discussing dinner after this game.
Yeah.
This is taking a lot longer than what it needs to.
They have been doing a lot of discussion tonight. On Beckham. Going to get the ball in. He gets it into Maurice. Now over to Gervais. Now to Grant. Oh, and a steal. A steal once again by the Bison, and they're going to call a foul on the drive, and they're going to call this on Beckham. But, you know, getting back to what we were talking about just a few moments ago, I think it was that game against Tennessee Valley. So many guys out with illness, and C.J. Beckham and Maurice Johnson. Maurice actually was injured in that game, the first foul from the Bison miss. Just an absolutely marvelous game. I mean, the two of them together working in tandem just took control and led the Bears to victory, as the second free throw shot does connect. Whoa, when we have some extracurricular activity going on. And timeout. And a 30-second timeout. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Bears inbounding. Now Maurice Johnson with the ball. And now to C.J. Beckham. C.J. with the ball. Now kick out to Johnson. Three-pointer on the way, and it is no good. A rebound by the Bison. Bears basketball brought to you by Pinnacle Bank, where the Bears are on top 72-64 with 6:58 remaining in regulation. Bison error pass, and it goes out of bounds, so the Bears will gain possession. C.J. Beckham inbounding the ball. Now to Johnson. Now Maurice feeds to Gervais, and now over to Johnson. Now to Carterius. And now to Beckham. CJ, three-pointer on the way, and it is good. A beautiful three-pointer by C.J. Beckham. Gives him 8 points for the game and a 75-64 lead as the Bears are back into double digits. Now the Bison. Feed underneath. This is Leon, and what do you know, there's another foul. They don't ever call those.
I think we've seen plenty tonight.
And of course, this is going to be a shooting foul, but everybody's shooting 2 fouls from now on unless somebody's fouled behind three-point line. R.J. Stevens getting ready to check in. Carterius Evans will check out. So at the line shooting, let's see here, this is Levent's Bayonne. And I have to check myself because even during the game I begin to recognize players, but these are identical twins out here, Levent's and LeBron, so. And the first shot misses. And that's from Levent's. Cam Scott getting ready to check into the game. The second shot, and this is up and good. And there's Cam Scott coming in for R.J. Stevens. 75-65, Bears still on top with 6:17 remaining, and Cam Scott gets the ball in. Now back to Beckham. CJ, and they're going to call traveling on CJ. Traveling on CJ Beckham. Bison will inbound. On the inbound, a feed shot, and it's no good. A rebound by Gervais Peters. Now down to CJ underneath. Oh, and they just gave Cornelius Grant an absolute clothesline from behind, but he's okay though. And he will get a chance to shoot for two. Grant at the line. First shot, it's up and good. 14 points now tonight for Grant. Second shot for Cornelius. And this one does connect. So 15 points now for Cornelius Grant. Gives the Bears a 12-point lead at 77-65. And a turnover for the Bears. And a wrestle out of bounds. The Bison tried to recover it, but they did not. So the Bears will regain possession. Inbounding. CJ Beckham. Inbound to Cam Scott. Now back to Beckham. And I believe that they're going to say that was a travel. The call was a travel on CJ Beckham. Substitutions coming in for the Bison. And this is Hill. Now a feed. And Mays back to Hill. Hill on the drive, and a beautiful block by Cam Scott. Send that propelled out of bounds. The Bison will retain possession. Bears ahead 77-65 with 5:21 remaining. And a battle, a steal by CJ Beckham. Beckham's going to feed over to Peters, and Peters' shot is blocked from behind. Picking up the rebound is Grant, and putting it back will be Beckham. That's 10 points for CJ Beckham. And now a 14-point lead, 79-65. Shot on the way. It is no good. A putback by Hill does make it good. 79-67. Bears still on top. 4:50 remaining. Cam Scott now feeds to Maurice Johnson. And looks like we have a foul. Looks like we have a blocking foul. Is this going to be a charge? This will be a charging foul against Bevill State. So a charging foul against Bevill State, and the Bison, after a break to mop up some sweat on the court, Bison will be inbounding. 79-67 with 4:44 remaining. Bevill State on top. And we have another whistle to stop things as there's a sub. Now the inbound for the Bison. And a drive. And almost turned over by the Bison. They do retain. Now on the drive. And a steal by Scott. And now it's stolen back by the Bison. Everybody is getting in on the action. It's fast and furious, and it's finally broken apart by Hill with a three-point shot. 9 points by the Bears, and a steal and a basket. We have got a basket. We're waiting for the referee to signal for the break. Full timeout. We'll be back in 1 minute. Welcome back to Bevill State basketball, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank, where the Bears are on top 79-72 with 4:10 remaining. C.J. Beckham inbounding the ball. Bass, the action has been fast and furious these last few moments. And looks like we have a travel on Bevill State. They're saying that Cam Scott walked with the ball.
This has definitely been the craziest minute and a half here I've ever seen so far.
4:03 remaining. Bevill State still on top 79-72. It's a 7-point lead. The Bison with possession. This is Eden. And now he's going to feed it over to Mays. And now to Hill. And on the drive, and this is LeBron Bayonne who scores the two-pointer. It's 79-74. The press is on. The Bison doing everything that they can. Beckham, and they are going to say that this is, let's see, is this going to be a foul? Yes, they're going to say that C.J. Beckham was fouled. C.J. Beckham going to be going to the line. Of course, it's been 10 fouls for forever, Bass.
Seems like, with 10 minutes left in the game, we're at 10 fouls. So, I mean, it's crazy how fast this action's been.
C.J. Beckham with 10 points, 4 rebounds tonight at the line for the Bears. Trinity Epps now getting ready to check into the game. Beckham's first shot is missing. Evans is going to check in for Grant. Beckham's second shot. And this one does connect, so 11 points for C.J. Beckham. Makes it a 6-point game, 80-74. Here's the Bison. This is Taylor. And now he's going to feed it over to Eden. And now to Hill. And coughed it up. Who's going to grab possession of it? It's going to be Scott. Now Gervais picks up the ball. Now back to Scott. Now back to Gervais. Now to Epps. And now to Scott. Now a beautiful feed, inside dunk by Carterius Evans. That's 19 points for Carterius, and now an 8-point lead for the Bears, 82-74, with 2:39 left, a drive, and they're going to call a foul. Who is this foul going to be on? They're going to call this one on Epps. And, I can't see really clearly, but I believe that is Coach Robert Epps.
That is Coach Epps over there.
Yep. Coach Robert Epps is doing a little coaching from the stands.
He is just talking it up over there on the other side.
He is he's quite stimulated right now. Coach Epps is. There's more of the referee discussion.
No idea what's going on here, but seems like they're starting to get into the argument over what dinner place to go to. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm hungry. I'm thinking about food.
Well, it makes two of us, Bass. But, the discussions have been extremely lengthy and frequent tonight. I guess we're still trying to find out what's going on here. Was there a technical? I didn't see a technical blown.
I didn't either.
Folks, we have no idea what the discussion is.
And there is a technical.
Wow. Okay. So,
but what the technical is on,
I have no idea. So, technical shot being shot, and that was LeBron Bayonne. And this makes this an 82-75 ball game. Bevill State still on top with 2:36 remaining in the second half. And shooting this time, this would be Jordan Mays. Mays' first shot, and that's going to be up and good.
And we got a timeout.
Yep, this is going to be a 30-second timeout. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, where the Bison have connected on a free throw shot, and now they put back another shot, and now they are down by 3. Bevill State still on top, 82-79. Bass, the press is absolutely driving the Bears bananas. And they're going to call a travel on the Bears. And Maurice Johnson
is heated.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they do not call a technical here. They have not. The Bison will inbound, and this is Hill. Hill has gotten this over to Eden. It's a 3-point lead for Bevill State. 2:05 remaining, 82-79. And here is Taylor. Eden. On the drive, a kick out three-pointer. It is no good. Rebound attempt by Hill. He does not control it, so Bevill State will inbound with C.J. Beckham.
Under 2 minutes here to play, Brian, and what was a nice, at the point of the game, a 15-point lead is now a 3-point lead for Bevill.
C.J. Beckham accepts the inbound. And over to Scott. Now down to Epps. Now back to Beckham. Bears are going to take a little bit of time here and measure things out. Beckham on the drive, puts up the shot. And are they going to call a charging foul on Beckham?
They are calling a charging on Beckham.
So the possession error will go back to the Bison. Schuyler Heights now into the game. Bison moving down the court. This is Eaton. 1:14 remaining in regulation. Now on the drive. Kick out by Eden. Now Taylor, a three-pointer. It is no good. A battle for the rebound. And it is recovered by the Bison. And they're going to say that the Bison stepped out of bounds. Bison stepped out of bounds. And once again, we're going to have another referee discussion. Well, yet again, C.J. Beckham is ready to inbound the ball, and the discussions are just continuing nonstop tonight. Maurice Johnson comes in. Cam Scott checks out. Here's Beckham. Now over to Gervais. And they're going to try to steal away from Gervais. They get it away from him. And the shot is up. It is good. Do they call the basket by LeBron Bayonne? They do. And they will call the foul on Gervais. This brings it to a 1-point game, 82-81. LeBron Bayonne at the line. The shot is up, and it is good. We have a tie game, 82-82. Timeout, Coach Cheatham. Let's see what timeout this is. Full timeout. We'll be back in 1 minute. Welcome back, everybody. Tie ball game, 82-82 with 53 seconds left. Inbounding will be Maurice Johnson for the Bevill State Bears. Inbound to Beckham. CJ doing a little backpedaling. Now a lob over to Scott. Cam Scott quickly down the court. Coughed up the ball, and they are saying that the possession will go to the Bison. Possession to the Bison. 40.8 seconds remaining. Tie ball game, 82-82. Bevill State basketball brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. And it has been some type of game. After being down by 15 points, it has been a battle back by Southern Union. And they have an opportunity now at the free throw line. The game tied at 82 with 40 seconds left for Isaiah Eden to potentially take the lead with free throw shots. The first shot, it is no good. Second shot. This one does connect. A 1-point lead, 83-82 for the Bison. Inbounding will be Maurice Johnson. He gets it over to Skylar Heiss. Johnson passes it to Beckham. It was knocked away. Knocked away by the Bison. Beckham will inbound. The Bears retain possession.
Full court press is definitely getting the Bears here.
Evans on the rebound. Now he gets it over to Johnson. On the timeline, Skylar Heiss for three. It is no good. They're going to
foul.
They are going to say that Heiss was fouled.
.1 seconds left on the clock. Skylar Heiss at the free throw line.
It's going to be 2 shots for Skylar Heiss. The Oakman Wildcat, sophomore, has a chance.
How many times do you think Skylar Heiss has had this much pressure on him?
Oh, it's a ton. It is a ton. He's got a chance to tie it here with this first shot. Heiss's first shot.
It's good.
That's connect. Tie ball game, 83-83. Now it's on Heiss. It was his first point of the game. A second one here would give the Bears a lead with 27.1 seconds remaining. And he does not connect. Game still remains tied. The Bison with control of the ball.
Under 20 seconds here, Brian.
The shot clock and the game clock are maybe 1/10 of a second difference.
No shot clock.
Yes, no shot clock. So the Bison.
5 seconds.
Pull-up shot, and it does connect. Marcus Hill. And a three-pointer attempt by C.J. Beckham misses. Final score, Southern Union in a comeback, 85-83 over Bevill State. Sebastian and I will wrap it up when we come back from a break in 1 minute. Welcome back, everybody, to Bevill State basketball, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank, where the Bears have suffered a big rally by the Southern Union Bison. The Bison prevail on a last shot, 85-83, as the Bears fall. We're going to look at the final numbers. Carterius Evans led all Bear scorers with 19 points and 7 rebounds. Behind him was Cornelius Grant with 15 points, followed by Gervais Peters with 15 points. Cam Scott had 11 points, along with C.J. Beckham with 11 points. And that is our final. Bass, it was quite a whirlwind there at the end. The Bears lose probably one of the toughest ways that you can possibly lose, losing from a 15-point lead down, whittled away with a shot in the last few seconds of the ballgame.
Yeah, you're right about that. Devastating loss here for the Bears. You know, like you said, 15-point lead, just blown out the windows. But you got to admit, though, it was a hard-fought game on both sides of the for the teams on both sides. But just devastating for the Bears there. Just couldn't get it done tonight.
Absolutely. Well, the Bears will be back in action on Friday. They play, I believe it's Coastal Alabama North.
They play Coastal South.
South, okay. Glad you're here with me.
But the Bison, here's where you did get mixed up. The Bison do play Coastal North Friday.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Unfortunately, we will not be making the trip down to the Mobile area. We will be at the Walker County Tournament on Friday. So we will rejoin Bears coverage next week. But for everybody in and out of the area, for Sebastian Black and for Brett Elmore, back in our studios, who's getting our nice new home ready for us, and it's going to be lovely. This is Brian Hale saying so long, everybody, and thank you for tuning in.